Now, I recall that for me, ethics is also very important. My father taught the subject for 30 years as a dean of the University of San Jose Recoletos College of Law. And I think that was one of the reasons and why when he managed the court, he based his principles on ethical standards. And more so, more than ever, there's need for us to professionalize the legal profession, improve the standard. Besides what you have already proposed, for those who intend to become members of the bar, for those who are already members of the bar, what do you propose? And what is something that you feel that the IBP should look into in order to improve the moral fiber of the legal profession?
Number one, let us place greater stress on the pre-judicature program. Okay. It seems to me that we have forgotten this. The Commission, the Court of Appeals nominees do not take the pre-judicature program, but I did. I went through the pre-judicature, and I think this should be expanded. And this will open the awareness of our lawyers that out here is a career possibility that should be attended to, that should be open to us. Because in law school, we take up all subjects, and that does not really open the possibilities to you. But after law school, with PhilJA, I think that is the time. And the pre-judicature should be wider and should be graded. Perhaps there should be periodical exams in the course of the career of a judge. If the PhilJA gives seminars, seminars should have exams. And in relation with this, ma'am, I mentioned this because I am into this already, in the topic already. If I were to be Chief Justice, in terms of the JBC, the Constitution says that the court can assign you additional duties, and I will. I will give the JBC charge, or I will include the JBC in the performance assessment of our judges, because this will go towards professionalism. I would like to see a judiciary where you rise through merits. And this is one of the ways of doing this. Of course, the IBP will always be there. And if I were to be Chief Justice, I was chapter president of the IBP in the 80s during the time of Senator Rene Cayetano. And I am aware of the dynamics at the IBP, and I would hope that the court will have closer cooperation and coordination with the IBP. In fact, to the point perhaps that they will be one of the partners of the court. Siguro po parang nakakabatang kapatid.
Maraming salamat po. Actually, I was hoping the other way around. You mentioned that you would want the JBC to be a partner of the court in assessing the performance of the judges. But I was thinking of having the court inform us of the performance of the judges so that we can best determine whether they should be up for promotion. But since I guess it's a partnership, so I think it's something that's workable. And we do put a premium on the pre-judicature program. In fact, we make it a point to, in fact, check whether an applicant has acquired a grade that is above the cutoff or below the cutoff. Because we cannot presume that everyone who took up the pre-judicature program has actually taken it and validly passed. So I am actually challenged by the fact that you have taken the prejudicature, and maybe we should make time to understand what the prejudicature program is so that we know what we are imposing on our applicants. Thank you, Justice. Which brings me...
May I just round off my discussion on the performance appraisal
Please
by
do.
the JBC? What I have in mind, because right now we have an internal audit office in the court. And sad to state, this internal audit office is not performing its job. Because what is intended is a management performance, not a financial performance. We have the Commission on Audit for the financial audit, but what I have in mind is the internal audit office to do the auditing together with the internal audit offices of the appellate courts, and then for the lower courts, it would be the OCA, and they would be reporting to you. They would be reporting to you so that the JBC can coordinate the performance appraisals of judges and justices up to the appellate court.
It's funny that you made mention of the prejudicature, because one of the questions that I meant to ask is, what is your vision for the Philippine Judicial Academy that conducts the prejudicature program?
My total vision, Your Honor, is not only the kind of institution that it is today. Perhaps we can have in the future a degree-granting institution. This can be the subject, they can be the focal point of masteral programs for those going to the public service in the judiciary. That's far off, I know, but at least it should be part of our dream.
Moving on to something that is closely related to the PhilJA is the Philippine Mediation Center. What are your thoughts on mediation, and how effective is this in decongesting our court dockets?
Ma'am, you know, I came from the Department of Labor, where we have an NCMB, National Conciliation and Mediation Board. And it has been very, very successful in reducing our caseload, in reducing the incidence of strikes. When I left the Department of Labor, we only had a record of 6 strikes for 1 year. Remember that in the late 80s, we had 580 plus strikes in 1 year. And one of the centers of strikes was Cebu. And this was reduced to 6. So I am a believer in conciliation, in mediation. When I was at the Court of Appeals, when the subject was first broached, I was quite skeptical. I told them, bakit makikipag-areglo yung mga yan? May nanalo na, may natalo na. But I submitted my quota of 20 cases that should be conciliated. To my surprise, 12 of these cases were settled. Kaya sabi ko, dapat yung conciliation and mediation ma-institutionalize dito sa judiciary. Not as a small office in the PhilJA, but as a separate office like the NCMB in the Department of Labor. I am sure this will significantly reduce our caseload. And, of course, let us not forget arbitration, because arbitration is another effective tool that we can make use of. And I would allow arbitration and mediation even at the level of the Supreme Court if the parties so desire. I have no problem with that.
Yes, because I believe that one of the problems with the PMC is the funding, because it relies heavily on the funding from the PhilJA. So if nothing is allocated, then the PMC does not have any funds to work with. And in fact, that is a reason why the supervisor